I mean, I definitely believe in the power of Chinese herbs. So I
Yeah.
think it's the kind of the package was designed for a bit of self-care, a bit of, dry pantry, which you can just store away, or you can feed that to your younger children if you have. And then the real power comes from the Chinese herbs for the mum. Yeah.
Welcome back to No Place Like Home. I am Larissa and I'm here with Jess.
Hello.
And we are fortunate to have U-Fhern back of Elan House of Wellness.
Hi.
Thank you, U-Fhern.
Thanks for having me.
If you want to just talk a bit about Elan House of Wellness and what its aim is, how it came about, I suppose.
Yeah, so in our last episode, we touched on my traditional practice of Chinese confinement. So after I had my first daughter, Juliet, is when I dreamt of Elan House of Wellness. So that was close to 7 years ago, where I thought, I don't know how mums do it without having this time of care. So the original vision was actually a postpartum space like home. I traveled to Shanghai and Taiwan to visit some of these centers, but I had 2 babies in between, so that's been put on the back seat. But in the time during lockdown, when I had my third, I thought mums still do need that support, and how can we bring that forward? And, you guys asked, what can mums do, even if they can't have the confinement nanny, what can they do from home? So we really aim to educate women and families about traditional Chinese practices and how they can do it from home. And, it might just be adopting elements here and there, but just to create that really sacred postpartum time. So we have a range which we launched about a year and a half ago. Which is a combination of traditional Chinese herbs and also dry pantry mixes. So it's a bit of a East meets West kind of concept where, even for myself, I did enjoy my confinement food, but there were moments where I really wouldn't mind a brownie or a lactation cookie or something a little bit different in the midst of it. So that's where our dry pantry range came about. So there's 6 items in that range, really aims to nourish mothers. So because my 2 girls have eczema, so I'm really careful about the ingredients that they have. So everything's hand blended here in Melbourne in small batches, no additives, no coloring, no preservatives. So it's really like how you would cook it at home. So nothing I wouldn't feed my own kids.
Beautiful.
So the idea of some of them could become like really handy breastfeeding snacks that you can eat with one hand. Kitchery, which is really nourishing, even if you're not postpartum, like if after illness or you just want to help your digestive system, really.
Especially after the Christmas and New Year feast-a-thon, I always like to eat that.
Yeah.
After I come back from Singapore, I'm actually having a kitchery. I'm doing like a kitchery cleanse.
Yeah. So it's very restorative, and some people take our Nepalese rice pudding to hospital as their first meal. So they cook it at home, put it in a thermos. So it's just kind of everything we've designed to just nourish mum. And kids too, because the banana bread is a big hit with the kids.
I'm gonna have a look.
Yeah, please do.
So U-Fhern very kindly.
You do it first.
U-Fhern very kindly. Open it. U-Fhern very kindly gifted us both. Oh, the packaging itself is absolutely stunning.
So beautiful.
And there's all these nice things in here. Oh my gosh, red date tea. We could drink that today.
Yeah. So that one is famous drink in Chinese confinement. So we cook that with herbs. Cook the herbs with ginger. So the red dates and the ginger are very warming.
And is the red dates also good for iron?
It's blood boosting.
Yeah. Because I recall you saying, I don't know if it was in our podcast that we recorded or on your Instagram, but they helped with your restoring your blood after your blood loss.
Yeah, because so in Chinese medicine we believe even, obviously you lose a lot of blood when you birth, but even breastfeeding is an extension of the blood loss. So we want to keep restoring the mum with blood. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've got all my meals for tomorrow. So thank you
You're
so much. And
so you have a mist there as well. So we also created a self-care range. So, I think last time you were asking, what needs to change for mums to think about their postpartum. And I think one really big thing is for mums to feel worthy, for mums to feel that they deserve to look after themselves.
Yes.
We rarely put ourselves first. It's always family, the kids or work, for mums to feel like they're worthy of that care. And, if mums are well, families are well. We believe. So
So interesting you say that. I was in the nail salon the other day and there was a woman next to me and she was 3 months postpartum. and I was just overhearing the conversation that she was having because she was sitting right next to me. And then I said to her, how are you? You know, how are you feeling? And she said, yeah, well, I'm, you know, third round in. And, you know, I said, oh, well, you're doing well. 3 months you're at the nail salon. And the woman, they obviously knew each other. And the woman was like, oh, she was in here a week after she had her third baby.
Yeah.
And I just thought, we have this trophy culture of the sooner we're out after birth, like almost the more heroic we are.
Yeah, it's that bounce back culture.
And it's that that is the education piece. This is the revolution that we need to really help inform in that there is no trophy for, you know, but I did that myself. So with Sebastian, my second, I had my own business. I was back at work at 7 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, but I remember thinking, oh, everyone will think like, you know.
Oh, you're a hero.
Oh, look how amazing she
Supermum.
is. She's so dead. My clients will think this is. And I just
it's
think
a hard one to shake, you know. I think
Yeah.
there's so many layers to it and it's so complex, right? So it's kind of, if I think about it, it's society, right, our culture, and even a lot of Chinese practices. Like a lot of my friends who are of Chinese background refuse to practice confinement because they think it's too strict, or you know. But it could be because you know a lot of us have migrated to Australia, you know, and some part of that assimilation we kind of lose a lot of our tradition, you know, war, displacement, a lot of reasons why you know we've lost touch with that you know wisdom, I suppose. But there definitely is no trophy, right? So, but then also on social media you see all these celebrities. Going out, but I'm like, oh, hang on, they have nannies, they probably have a lot of help, they, you know, they're makeup artists, hairstylists, you know, to make them look that good. And it's different for, you know, but we see that on socials and we think that's what I need to be. But there is no trophy, and there's really no trophy for being selfless.
no, there's not.
Yeah, so I think with Chinese medicine, we believe the first 40 days sets you up for the first 40 years, next 40 years.
Next 40 years.
So that takes us to our menopause. Time, right? So I think, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, the Asian gene, that's why everyone looks so young. And I think this is it. This is the gene.
Yeah.
Observing confinement is what changes it. Yeah, it really is. And, you know, I restored myself after my postpartum hemorrhage, which we discussed last time. And I really do believe it. So TCM actually helped me fall pregnant with my first. Third pregnancy, I thought I was about to lose my baby around 9 weeks. He had no amniotic fluid around him. And I just thought, I'm not giving up. Went to see my TCM practitioner, put myself on bed rest. A week later, you know, and because we have a lot of friends who are doctors, and they were, you know, telling my husband, you know, obviously not in front of me, you know, it's probably unlikely that he will survive. You know, there was literally like no water around him. I said, I'm going to just do what I can, put myself on bed rest. And a week later, it turned around. Even the ultrasound, like the radiographer was like, oh, it's fine. You know, so I really do believe in its power. You know, Chinese medicines, and the goal of Elan is to share it with everyone. So the herbs that we have, you know, whether it's our loose herbs or 28-day package, the flavors have been designed to be more palatable for like the Western palate.
Okay.
Yeah. So it doesn't change its efficacy. It's still, you know, potent and powerful. But I think, you know, some Chinese medicine can feel very pungent and bitter. And sometimes if you don't enjoy it, you're not gonna, you know, keep having it. So, but I actually really enjoy a lot of the soup. Some people think it's acquired taste, but I find they're all quite enjoyable. Yeah.
I'm going to unbox mine. Oh my God, because I just want to see what's in mine. Yeah, this packaging is next level.
Heaven.
Sorry, I haven't taped everything for you.
Don't be silly, it's fine. So I've got some dark chocolate buckwheat banana bread.
So that's a big hit with the kids, that one.
Okay.
Actually, some of my clients have had that and they love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got black rice chia pudding. Oh my God. Postpartum kitchery. Oh, thank you.
So you don't have to be postpartum to have it. You can still
No.
Yeah.
And buckwheat pancakes. Oh my God, my kids are going to go crazy.
You said earlier that you've sort of taken traditional Chinese recipes but adapted them to be a bit more palatable to Western tastes. And you also mentioned you have a 28-day package.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the 28-day package, it's a beautiful big box of a combination of Chinese herbs, a selection of 2 items for our dry pantry range, and a bit of self-care items. So we have the postpartum bath sits, moxa sticks in there as well, and a deck of affirmation cards. So the first 10 I designed to cover the first the 10 moons of pregnancy, and then which is really good to have in your birthing suite, as you're laboring. And then the next 40 cards are for your first 40 days postpartum.
Oh my goodness, how beautiful.
What are the moxa sticks?
So moxa sticks is like, it's like, I guess, a thicker incense, but it's filled with mugwort.
Right.
And it's very powerful because it enters your meridians. So you kind of light them and then you hover them over certain pressure points.
Yes.
So you probably wouldn't do it during pregnancy because it can bring on labor.
Right.
But some practitioners do use it to turn babies.
Right.
Yeah, if they're not in the right position. And then we use it postpartum to warm the body. It's part of a mother warming kind of ritual.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so are there different herbs and things that you have for, like if you're getting the 28-day box, is there different things that you have for each week, or is it one big, I want this big box of herbs?
So the 28 days, so it's, there's one concoction, which is a Shanghai tonic, which is 1,000-year-old recipe, and the herbarium have created it in a granule form. So you just mix it in the, if you can take the jar to the hospital, just mix it with water and you drink it for the first 4 days. So that helps with the bleeding after you've had the baby. And then when you go home, you get to enjoy 4 soups and 4 red dates tea a week. And then you have that for 4 weeks. So each soup you can have over 1 to 2 days, and the same with the red dates tea, you can have it across 1 to 2 days. So like for me, I didn't drink any plain water for the first 2 months, only red dates tea as my substitute for water.
Yeah.
Just to really restore the blood and energy. So the 4 weeks of the herbs takes you through healing and detoxifying. And the second week, you repair and restore. Third week, nourish. And then fourth week, rejuvenate. So it really helps nourish the body and then prepare you for your breastfeeding journey if you choose to. But the package can be used for natural delivery or cesarean delivery as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think, imagine if every single person had that.
I mean, I definitely believe in the power of Chinese herbs. So I think it's the kind of, the package was designed for a bit of self-care, a bit of, dry pantry, which you can just store away, or you can feed that to your younger children if you have. And then the real power comes from the Chinese herbs for the mum. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. We would love to integrate, all of these parts into home. Yeah, I think it'll just be, it just feels warming even talking about it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
These are just, I'm looking at them now obviously, but they're basically just like the buckwheat pancakes, and then is it just add water?
So you just add a few wet ingredients to create the meal. So we just wanted it to be something that's convenient because when you're breastfeeding, the hunger can strike very quickly.
Yeah, and it's hard and fast.
Yeah, so we want to have some because we don't want moms to resort to high sugary snacks.
And toast crusts.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to have nourishing items that they have in their pantry. Just add a few wet ingredients to create. Like the banana bread, as long as you have all the ingredients in your pantry, you can whip it up in 10 minutes and then 15 minutes in the oven.
And this is something that you could also, if you have a guest coming or your mum's coming to see you, you can say, hey, can you just whip this up? The dry mix is there. Just follow the instructions.
Yeah, exactly. And we had someone who purchased some for the dry pantry because they said they couldn't afford enough fridge space for a meal train. So they like the idea of the dry pantry so they can have it in the cabinet. So whenever they needed something, this was what they would go to.
Tell us more about the range, U-Fhern. So you said you've got a self-care.
Yeah, so it kind of developed, because initially when we thought of the space, I was thinking, what would I have in a retail offering? So it was a combination of the Chinese herbs, obviously the dry pantry, but then self-care because I really want moms to really prioritize themselves. And that's the only way I feel like we can, think about postpartum. If a mum doesn't prioritize herself, no matter how much you talk about how important postpartum is, they're not going to turn to themselves and spend on themselves. So the self-care range, we have a body oil, and we've recently launched our belly sheet mask. So it's like a face mask but for your belly. When you kind of that tail end of pregnancy, it gets big, you're itchy, and it's stretching. So that's really nice and soothing to have. And then you kind of supplement that with the body oil. As a massage and just a bit of time for yourself. Then we have these journal prompt cards that it takes you through the first 40 days again, just reflective of your pregnancy and postpartum and your birth as well. And then we have a postpartum planning workbook, which I actually think that's a very potent product we have on our offering. It's like over 100 pages of quotes and calendars. We ask questions, things that I think first time moms probably don't think much about, like who's going to do the cleaning, the cooking.
How are you splitting your finances?
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of things about like that. So by the time you get to the end of the workbook, you'll have like a calendar of things that you need to do, questions you need to ask, to just prepare yourself for the postpartum.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Where can people buy these products?
So we're online. So our website is elan.house. So everything's on there. And if you sign up to our newsletter, you get a special discount code for your first purchase. And our Instagram is elan.house of wellness.
I'm obsessed with your Instagram. It is so beautiful.
I think we've really tried to incorporate a lot of education in there, whether it's talking about different traditional practices, around the world.
I love that.
Also, mothers coming on to speak about their own experience postpartum. Yeah, so we're going to start doing one where we feature women in business soon.
Amazing. Amazing.
I love talking to women in business, especially in the motherhood space as well. So we'll start a feature on that soon.
Amazing. Just coming back to the self-care part, as a postpartum doula, a lot of my clients hire me firstly for the food, but then also because they need me to help them carve out that time to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And so, of course, there's not enough doulas. There's also not everyone has the financial means to be able to hire a doula. So I really think things like your journal is such and the cards are such a wonderful way to help people bring that self-care practice into their day-to-day without a doula having to be the one that makes them do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think because, the online offering really was birthed during COVID because no one could come, right? So what happens if the mum or the mother-in-law can't come to support you? I mean, I think doulas were okay at the time because it was
we fell under
essential
the caregiving.
So that was fine, but we wanted, like, if someone couldn't come and support you, how can we do it ourselves?
Yeah.
And that's what our range was helping to do.
What's in the soak? Sorry.
So it's a combination of salts and flowers. So things that, really soothing, like calendula.
For the perineum?
Yeah. So, but, you can use it as just like a foot soak.
Yeah.
Some people do use it for yoni steaming.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite a traditional practice. I'm not sure if like people are like well versed in that, but I think, was it Chrissy Teigen who did it and got quite a lot of like outrage around it?
Yeah. That's very, it's one of those controversial
practices. Yeah.
Why?
I think people think it's a bit of just like not very scientifically backed and a bit of a woo-woo thing. People are very quick to sort of diminish woo-woo practices. But
because I only heard about it when we were traveling and we met up with a girlfriend of mine from the UK, and she has completely transformed her lifestyle to Ayurvedic. And she was going through a period that she was having some issues down there.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she had to do was yoni steaming.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing.
Everyone who does it swears by it. And there's Steamy Chick. I think if people are listening and they haven't heard of yoni steaming before, Steamy Chick on Instagram is a really good place to start because she's also got the scientific studies and things like that for people to look at.
Yeah. So I don't publicly promote that because I think it can be quite controversial. But it's one use of it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, even as a foot soak or a hand, I do that with my girls when we do a manicure session.
My boys love doing a foot soak too, and then I give them a little massage.
Yeah, it's a little treat for them. So so it's all very gentle.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, U-Fhern. We have loved learning about the business and all the products
and about your postpartum.
Yes.
And we think you're incredible. We think your branding's incredible. We can't wait to see what happens with Elan.
Thank you. And I'm very excited for home as well. So I can't wait to see it come to life.
I'm sure we will integrate somewhere through this process. We're stronger in numbers. So yeah, we look forward to it. Thank you again, U-Fhern.
Thank you.
This podcast represents the opinions of our hosts and their guest speakers. Views and opinions expressed in the podcast are our own and do not represent that of our places of work. This podcast is for informational purposes only, and content here should not be taken as medical or professional advice. Please consult your healthcare professional for any personal recommendations and medical care. While we make every effort to ensure that the information we are sharing is accurate based on the best available information at the time of recording, we welcome any comments, suggestions or feedback via our website contact form, home.com.au/contact. Names and details of personal experiences may have been changed to allow for anonymity and privacy. To join the conversation, join us on social media at Home Postpartum.